Welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you beautiful people. I'm so happy to have you here, a part of the live stream. How are you guys doing? You guys enjoy the intro today? It was a little bit more smooth today. You guys enjoyed the intro? I'm gonna try to make the intros as enjoyable as I possibly can. So, I'm going to throw some Easter eggs in on the intros, for those of you guys on TikTok. So, you got to make sure you watch the intros from now on because I'm going to make them interesting. I might do some weird or crazy or out of the ordinary on the intro. But how are you guys doing? You guys hearing me okay? Everything good? I just want to make sure everything good before we get started. I want to make sure there's no glitches, no lags, no nothing. I always want to make sure I'm doing the best. I'm doing the best I possibly can for all you amazing people. Okay. So, let us get started in today's classroom. You guys know how we do it to get started. Let's do roll call to get started. If you're here, you're present, and you're participating with me, and you're paying attention, and you're part of the live stream, I want you to say here or present so that I know that you're paying attention and you're going to participate with not just me, but with everyone else in the classroom, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on TikTok. It doesn't matter. I want you here and participating with me and everyone else in the live stream. Okay? So I need you to say here or present so that I know that you're here or you're present. Okay, perfect. We got Brianna. Brianna was, I think I saw Brianna. We got Batia here. Sharice here? I see. Let's see if Sharice is here. Is Sharice here? Let me scroll up. Oh, Brianna's here. Brenda's here. I don't think Sharice is here yet. We got Brianna's here, the very first one here. She's always like saying here first. Okay. Welcome all you amazing people. Someone says how to deal with a nonchalant cheater. Welcome. So I'm glad everyone's here. I'm participating. We're gonna have quite an interesting topic today. For those of you guys who got a chance to see it on YouTube, you probably already know what the topic is today. Today, we're gonna talk about something you'll love. How to become irresistible to men. That is the topic today. How you specifically, you watching, how you can become irresistible to men. More than possible, okay? Now, we're going to go through 5 different steps and ways, right? Things that make you as a woman irresistible to a man, right? We're going to go through five different ways, or let's say 5 different things that make you irresistible to a man. Very simple, okay? So I want you guys to follow along. If you got to jot down notes, you jot down notes. But this will be very valuable information because you can use this information to your advantage whenever you're on your dates or whenever you're seeing a new guy or whatever, to increase his desire in you. Because remember, the more you can increase a man's desire in you, right, the better off you are, because then with that desire, you can get what you want from him. If a guy doesn't truly desire you, you're never going to be able to get him to act right. You're not going to be able to get him to be loyal to you. You're not going to be able to get him to stop cheating on you. You're not going to be able to get him to not have his head on a swivel whenever you guys go out looking at all the other girls, right? You're not going to be able to control him, as bad as it sounds, right? You can control a man if you can control his desire for you, because if he desires you a lot, he's way more controllable than if he doesn't desire you at all, right? You can exploit the nature of a man to get what you want from a man. Now, whatever you choose to do with that power is completely up to you. But just know that if you are able to create a lot of desire in a man for you, you're going to be able to control him and get him to do whatever it is that you want him to do. And from there, the responsibility is yours, whatever you want to do with all of that power. Okay. But I want you to know that it is power, And that is how you get what you want. I know a lot of you guys have all these questions. How do I get a man to do this? How do I get him to act right? Someone just asked earlier, how do I deal with the nonchalant cheater? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I get him to do this, right? Because you want to know, how can I get this guy to do what I want him to do, say what I want him to say, talk how I want him to talk, act how I want him to act. The only way, right, to do that, to get a man to move in any particular direction, is to work with his nature. And when a man desires you, the woman, when a man desires you, that is the number one way you can get him to do things or act a particular way for you. Because in his desire for you, right, you become the prize. You become the thing that he wants so desperately. And because he wants you so desperately, I'm not just talking about, below the waist. I'm talking about mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that good stuff. Because he desires you so much, right? He's going to say, okay, what do I need to do in order to gain access to you? And then you can sit back and set the standards and expectations. All right, you got to do this. I want you to act like this. I want you to talk like this. I want you to walk like this. And you're in the driver's seat just that fast, right? But it's all about understanding how to create that desire, understanding how to increase that desire if maybe you're already in the relationship, so that you can start manipulating or controlling the situation the way that you want to control this situation. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's get started with number one. Okay, of the 7 signs, or sorry, the 7 things, or seven things that you can do, or 5 things that you can do to become irresistible to men. Okay, so number 1, we have it girl energy. Now, you guys know I love to ask questions to make sure everyone, to get a gauge of what everyone feels and thinks. What do you guys think it means when I say it girl energy? What do you think I'm describing? What do you think I'm trying to get at? What do you think it means when I say it girl energy? In order to get a guy to desire you, or to be more desirable, you need to have it girl energy. What do you think that means when I say it girl energy? Skimba says confidence. Okay. I see a couple people saying confident. Phoenix says confident as well. Sophia says boss B. Okay, I like that. Juliana in the YouTube chat says it girl energy is exuding this crazy confidence. Okay, that you value yourself. I like that. Smarty pants. Popular, Annie says in the TikTok chat. Batia says feminine. I think you meant feminine. Erica says being feminine. Segan says independent woman. Okay. Isabel says a femme fatale. Oh, you be reading your book, so you know what a femme fatale is. Okay. At peace with yourself. Main character energy. Brenda says being confident in yourself and true to your essence. Okay, I like that. Someone who loves themselves. Okay. He's a commanding presence. I like that. Being yourself. Okay. Julianne in the YouTube chat says, you know what you bring to a man's life and you're confident about it. Someone else says mysterious. We'll get to that. Okay, these are all great answers. I love these answers. Finance base says me. Perfect. Even better. It girl energy. You guys had it down packed. It girl energy is essentially the confidence that you carry around with you that other people can be attracted to. Okay, and I've talked about this before, about how your attraction, even in its physical sense, is not just how you look on the outside. It's actually about how you feel and the energy you project outwardly to other people, because they are touched by that, they experience that, and they can actually be attracted to you more or less because of that. And I'll give you this example for those of you guys who have joined me multiple days. You've heard this example. For those of you who are new, maybe you haven't heard this example. Okay, so I'll ask it in the chat so that we're all of the same understanding. If you walked into a party and you saw 2 different types of guys, okay? One type of guy, the first guy, is 7 foot tall. He's a 7 foot tall giant, okay? He's got a supermodel face, super attractive, fit body, and he's 7 foot tall. Except at that same party, he's in the corner, shriveled up like a raisin. He's got his drink in his hand. He's looking down and he's not talking to anyone. He's shriveled up like a raisin, like this, shoulders down. He can't even look anyone in the eye. When people try to come up to him and talk, he's too shy and too awkward to even say a word, okay? He's just in the corner. He won't say a word. He's sitting down on the couch on the end, all small. He's 7 foot tall, though, right? Supermodel face, right? That's guy number one. Guy number two is 5'8". He's got a dad bod, okay? A dad bod going on. And he's the life of the party. Everywhere he goes at the party, he's making people laugh. He's making people cry. They're hysterical. They're hugging him. They're all over him. They're like, oh my God, we missed you. I'm talking about the guys and the girls. They're hugging you. Oh my God, we missed you. Oh my God, it's been so long. Oh my God, you're so amazing. He's telling stories. Everyone's listening. Everyone's gathered around him. He's just having everyone all over the place. The whole party feels like it's centered around him, and his presence is just magnetic. Okay, so I ask you in the chat, which one would you be more attracted to? The 7 foot guy who looks like a supermodel, who's sitting down on the couch, not making eye contact with anyone, who's too awkward to even speak, or the second guy who is 5'8", got a dad bod on, but he's walks around and everyone knows him, everyone's friends with him, and everyone talks to him and he makes everyone laugh and gets along with everyone. Okay. Juliana says in the YouTube chat, it's crazy how men who are funny end up being crazy attractive just from their energy. However, those are the biggest players. The men who are quiet ends up being the better, more loyal boyfriend. Okay, and I like that. And I like that Juliana said that in the YouTube chat, because I see some people say, oh, I would take the 7 foot model. Oh, I would take the 7 foot model. Said 7 foot, I like a loser. And obviously some people are saying number one. Well, I can understand why some of you would say that, but I also want you guys to acknowledge that you guys aren't saying that necessarily because you would actually be attracted more to guy number one, who's the 7 foot guy. It's probably, if we're being honest, and it's okay for us to be honest, and you guys can let me know in the chat if it's this reason or not, maybe I'm confused. It's probably more, if you were to choose guy number one, it's probably more about your experience with those types of personality, like the life of the party type of guys, right? Versus your actual genuine attraction. Kind of like Juliana said in the YouTube chat, how she talked about the guys who are the funny guys and the life of the party end up being more players, but the quiet guys end up being better boyfriend material, right? So then in a sense, your attraction is not really about how much you're attracted to that person. It's more about how attractive the experience you feel like you're gonna have is with that person. So what I mean by that is, if you were to choose guy number one, it might not necessarily be because you're actually attracted more to guy number one. It might just be, just like Phoenix just said, it's probably more because it feels like a wiser choice based on your experience, right? But in your natural state, if we're just talking about what tingles your Squirtle, okay? If we're talking about what tingles your Squirtle naturally, it's more than likely going to be guy number two, right? If we're all being honest with ourselves, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. But the reason I say that is that if we can acknowledge that regardless of how much we might dislike the experience we'd feel like we'd have with guy number two, there is a level of attraction there to someone who is walking around, who is confident in themselves, who exudes confidence outwardly, who makes other people laugh, who carries around them with them a level, an energy that you can be attracted to, right? And like I said in the example, if guy number two's got a dad bod and he's 5'8", if we're talking about the physical sense, right? The physical sense, right? it should be no competition between the guy who's 5'8" with a dad bod and the guy who's 7 foot tall who looks like a supermodel. It should be everyone should be saying guy number one based on physical traits. But the fact that it's even split, and the fact that people would even consider guy number two, tells you in itself that there's more to your physical attraction to someone. Someone said the mic is off. There's a weird sound on the mic. Is it still happening or no? What's going on? Let me try and fix it. Let me fix it real quick. Let me fix this real quick for you guys. There we go. Add this. Ooh. If I do this. Okay. Is it better now? There's probably an echo. Now let me cancel this out. Now is it better? Is there still cackling? On YouTube, I think they're fine. It's just on TikTok. Better now? Okay, perfect. All right. Juliana says, I can hear you. Juliana's over in the YouTube chat. She don't have no glitches or no problems. Only those of you on TikTok. Thank you guys for letting me know, though, that there was an issue, okay? I'd like to make sure the experience is good. Okay, so as it relates to the it girl energy, right? It's very important that if we can acknowledge that guy number two even has a chance, right? Even though he doesn't have the same physical traits, okay? Then that should tell you in itself that there's more to someone's physical attractiveness, even to you, than just what they look like, okay? On an outwardly level, right? Just what their body looks like or just what their face looks like, right? And if that's the case, then we're acknowledging, right, that energy can be perceived by each individual, each other human being, right? And it plays a role in someone's desire for you. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing for you, me, that's a good thing for all of us, because it means that you don't have to look like a supermodel in order to create desire. You don't have to look like a supermodel in order to be irresistible to a man, whether it be multiple men or it be a specific man, right? You don't have to look like a supermodel. You don't have to have the smallest waist. You don't have to have the biggest dump truck. You don't have to have the most voluptuous breasts. You don't have to have the most beautiful supermodel face. Okay? Natty said, I'm a good 6. You can be a 6 and still make yourself irresistible with your energy, which is great. It's great that we don't all have to just rely solely on what we look like externally to be the thing that attracts people. The same way we just talked about energy, you can meet someone who's super physically attractive, and then in the process of meeting them, you realize, now that I've actually been around you, I feel super uncomfortable around you. You're not the type of vibe or the type of experience that I like. Just being with you was a horrible experience. Regardless of how you look, I don't want to spend any more time around you or with you, right? Because that energy plays a role, right? Someone said, but energy affects appearance. Exactly. And so it girl energy is one of the main ways you can become irresistible to a man. Now, obviously, some of you guys are asking, how do I get it girl energy? Let me know in the chat, because I don't like it to just be me talking as if I know everything and you know nothing. What do you guys think are ways you can exude it girl energy? Give me some examples of what you think would be ways you can exude it girl energy. Okay? I'm talking about it girl energy from a guy's perspective, that he thinks you're the it girl, okay? Julianne in the YouTube chat said this is very true. Energy is everything. Everything. I agree. 100%. I agree. Do your hair. Someone says smell good. I like that. Smelling good is important. Nonchalant energy. Okay. Be positive. Body language. Treating yourself like an it girl. Oh, Sophia, so smart. So smart. Not giving a care. Confidence. Being kind. Okay. Being yourself always. The energy you exude. Okay, I like that. Not treating their compliments or attention like something significant. Okay, interesting, Madison. I like that. I like that. Be open-minded. Someone says, smell good is so easy. I like that. It girl is just a trend. Okay, interesting. Staying true to yourself. Actually feeling like you're the it girl. Okay. I'm going to pause it right there on what Brenda said because I like what she said. Actually feeling like you're the it girl. Okay? Because it's going to be hard to exude it girl energy if you don't actually feel like the it girl. So a lot of you guys mentioned some really good things, right? And some of you guys mentioned some things that are more external, like ignoring his comments or whatever, that things that he might say. It's really about you internally, okay? Just like most of your answers to your life and most of the solutions to your problems, the answers are within you. So what I mean by that is the it girl energy can only be exuded if you feel that way. And in order to feel that way, you have to take care of yourself and do things for yourself that will make you feel that way. It's like a snowball effect. You know how we always talk about the mindset and manifestation and spirituality, and we always talk about the only thing the first way to start manifesting those things is to affirm yourself and to keep those affirmations going until you brainwash yourself. And in the process of brainwashing yourself, you're going to start seeing that thing over and over and over again. And because you see that thing over and over again, because you've brainwashed yourself, then you begin to believe it even more and you brainwash yourself even more and it becomes a vicious cycle. It's the same thing with it girl energy. Even if you don't feel like you're the it girl, the first key is lying to yourself, okay? Just lie to yourself. If you got to say it 100 times over and over again, I'm the it girl. I'm the it girl. I'm the one. Everyone is obsessed with me. You can, but if you want to, and I'm so serious. If you guys are into manifestation and spirituality, if you've already been introduced to that, you should know about things like this. But my advice to you, honestly, is if you really struggle with feeling like the it girl and you don't know how you're going to even start or try down that path, my honest advice to you would be to every single day before you go to bed and when you wake up, you spend 30 minutes, no music, put some earplugs in or just sit there in silence. And I just want you to say over and over again, everyone is obsessed with me. Everyone is obsessed with me. Everyone is obsessed with me. I'm so serious. This is not a joke. I do this. I affirm myself every morning and every night. So don't think that I'm giving you this advice and not doing it myself. I affirm myself. Whatever it is I want to see in my life, I give myself affirmations of that over and over again every morning and every night. So if you're struggling to feel like the it girl, my advice for the first thing you should do is every morning and every night you sit on your bed or lay in your bed and you say, everyone is obsessed with me. Just repeat that over and over again for 30 minutes. Because what will happen is at the beginning, you'll be like, this is a lie. I'm lying to myself, right? After a while, though, your brain will begin to get tired of fighting against you. Okay? Riz Me Up Rosa says, encouraging narcissism. It's not encouraging narcissism. If you want to see it that way, sure. But you should be your own biggest fan. You should be your own biggest fan. I will never advise you to not believe in yourself. I will never advise you to not see yourself as valuable, as beautiful, as amazing, as being worth being loved and cherished and cared for. Because if you don't believe that for yourself, how is anyone else supposed to treat you that way? Right? Anyone that tells you that you're a narcissist because you believe you're beautiful, because you believe that you're worth something, because you believe that you're valuable, is only trying to tear you down. Nobody said you have to be arrogant. Nobody said you have to walk around telling everybody, oh my God, don't talk to me. I'm worth way more than you, right? But what you should be doing, right? You should have the confidence in yourself that you are worth something and valuable, because then when someone treats you less than or they devalue you, you won't take that, which you shouldn't, right? When you don't believe in yourself, right? Or you don't value yourself, when people treat you less than, you will believe that that's all you deserve. Okay? You'll believe that that's all you deserve. Maisie said, but obsession ain't it. Well, why would obsession ain't it? Why aren't you worth being obsessed over? You see how you can get so deep down a path of like self-deprecation and not believing in yourself that you think it's wrong for other people to be obsessed with you. Imagine that. Imagine how damaged your self-worth is, that you don't even believe that another human being out there living, existing, can be obsessed with you. Are human beings not obsessed with celebrities? Do people not worship their favorite celebrity, their favorite actor, their favorite singer? Are those not human beings too? I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but what I am saying is if there's human beings out there that are worthy of being obsessed over, why can't you be worthy of being obsessed over? Why can't you have a partner who is obsessed with you? Why are you less than that you don't believe it's right or good or possible for someone to come in your life, right, and wants you so badly and desires you so badly that they're obsessed with you? You are worth that. And you should believe that. And if you don't, how do you expect to have a partner who truly cares about you, who truly wants to be with you? Do you think someone who is deeply in love with you is not obsessed with you? Have you, question for you guys, because I don't just want it to be just me talking. Have you ever been deeply in love with someone? Would you or would you not say that that feels a lot like obsession when you're really deeply in love with someone? Because I feel like some of us have a different idea of obsession than maybe I'm trying to say. Because there is a healthy way to have an obsession with someone. You can be healthily obsessed with someone that is actively your partner and you're actively in a relationship with. I see a lot of you guys saying yes, right? It's okay to be obsessed with, it's okay. Like, you can be in a relationship with someone and be obsessed with them, and they can be in a relationship with you and you're obsessed with them as well. And it can still be healthy. The obsession doesn't have to be unhealthy. Okay? And I think that when you guys hear the word, maybe I shouldn't use the word obsessed, because I think when you guys hear the word obsessed, you always think of some sort of disorder or some sort of issue. When I say obsessed, I'm talking about the concept of someone wanting you really bad and desiring you a lot, and wanting to do as much as they possibly can to be the person that you need them, that you need them to be, or you want them to be. Okay? Because newsflash for you, okay, all you women, right? The girls who you look at and you're like, damn, her man loves her so much. Damn, her man would do anything for her. Damn, her man spends so much money on her. You know those relationships where you look at their relationship and you say, damn, how do I get a man to do all this stuff for me like she gets those men to do for her? Tell me in the chat, because I'm obviously a man, so I haven't had the same experience. But have you ever been on social media and seen a girl where you're like, damn, how does she get her man to do the most for her? Have you ever been on social media and experienced that as a woman, where you're on social media and you're thinking to yourself, how does this girl get a man to do the absolute most for her? He's buying her all types of flowers. He's spending all types of money. He's taking her on all types of trips. It's just like this man is bending over backwards for her, and I can't even get a guy to text me back. Have you ever wondered that as a woman? right? Tell me if you guys, I see a lot of people saying yes. Okay. Little says absolutely. Okay. Mars says yes, always. Okay. But it's social media, not real life. Oh, fair, fair. Lady says, I think it's just a certain type of man. So why can't you attract that certain type of man? Right? Someone else says, of course, right? Maisie said she's mastered the divine feminine energy of exactly, right? See, the thing about it is, there's nothing particularly special about that one girl that you can't have or do. You understand what I'm saying? My point being is the only way she gets these men to bend over backwards for her is because she gets these men obsessed with her, or they want to bend over backwards for her. You ever hear people talking about, this guy's simping over me, this guy's simping over me, and then you're sitting there wondering, how do I get a guy to even simp over me? I can't even get guys to text me back or call me. And these girls have guys simping over them, right? How can you possibly have that happen if a guy is not obsessed with you? And then some of you guys are thinking that it's wrong to have to be obsessed over. When in reality, all the girls that are getting all the things that you want are being obsessed over. Okay? Maisie said she probably is special. Some women are actually special. So then my question to you is, why aren't you special? Why do you think that you are a subhuman to another human? You both breathe air. You both bleed blood. You both have to drink water and eat food in order to survive. There is no reason why you should believe another woman is worthy of something that you're not worthy of. And actually, in the weirdest, strangest way, the concept of believing that there are other human beings out there that are worthy of more than you are and are more valuable than you are is a version of idolizing. Okay? And I know this is getting deep, but we always get deep on here. If you truly believe that there are other women out there that get things and deserve things more than you should be able to get or deserve as a human being, that is idolizing. Because you're basically saying, you are saying that there are human beings out there that are more and better than me. And I am a subhuman underneath whatever they are. Or I'm only a human, meanwhile they are a godlike, goddess-like figure. I am not worthy of the things that they get. I am not worthy of the achievements that they have. I am not worthy of the men obsessing over me like she gets. And so what do you think is going to happen? The men will not obsess over you. And then you'll be scrambling, chasing after men. Please, can you love me? Please, I'm desperate. Please love me. Please, can you love me? Please, I'm so desperate. Please, I'll do anything. Can you please text me back? And then you come to me and you're asking, how do I get him to text me back? He won't text me. How do I get unblocked? He blocked me. He doesn't want to speak to me. How do I get him to like me? He doesn't even like me. He doesn't want to take me out on dates. He's talking to another girl. And you wonder why these things are happening. And it starts with your mindset, because you've already started to believe that other women are worth more than you are. And I'm a guy. How sad is it that me as a man, I have to mansplain to you that you are just as valuable as the other women and you are worth just as much as the other woman? I shouldn't have to tell you that. That should be something that you already carry around with you. And so if you struggle to believe that, that is the first thing that you need to be working on. Okay? Because you're never going to get to where you need to go. You're never going to get these guys to desire you and to become irresistible to these men if you don't even believe that you're irresistible. Like, do you guys really understand what I'm trying to show you here? When I talk about how to become irresistible, that's not just, oh, I'm attractive. That's no, people are crawling all over themselves to be with me. I have my pick of whoever I want because all of these men are dying to be with me. That starts with your mindset. Because once your mind is there, right, you'll begin to project that energy outward, and you'll also be able to see that in your physical reality. Madison in the YouTube chat says Delulu is the Sululu. 100%. Why do you think people say that Delulu is the Sululu? It's not about believing in a relationship that doesn't exist or anything like that. Delulu is the Sululu is understanding that your thoughts will become your physical reality. And so if you want something to be your physical reality, you got to be delusional until it becomes your physical reality. Okay? I know for some of you guys, it's really difficult to envision or understand, because when I say, oh, you should walk around with the energy that you expect people to be obsessed with you. And some of you guys are so, your self-worth has been so emotionally damaged that feels wrong. It feels wrong to you that you should walk around believing that other people will be obsessed with you and should be obsessed with you. This is why I don't like buzzwords, because buzzwords become trendy and become overused and misused. Like someone earlier in the chat said, "Oh, but that's narcissism. You shouldn't be telling people to be narcissists. That's narcissistic behavior." No, there's a difference between a diagnosed medical disorder and believing in yourself and having some self-worth and thinking you're worthy of being loved. Okay? And I know everyone likes to throw around the word narcissism. It's a buzzword. And oh my God, if you're obsessed with yourself, that's narcissism. If you pour into yourself, that's narcissism. If you only care about yourself, that's narcissism. Newsflash, who's supposed to care more for you than you? Who's supposed to believe in you more than you? It's not going to be your mom. It's not going to be your dad. It's not going to be your brother, your sister, your uncle, your aunt, your cousin, your nephew, your boyfriend, or your best friend. The only person, the number one fan of you should be you. Because before anyone else is going to believe in you, you're going to have to believe in yourself. I know I sound like a dad, and I hate doing that because I usually do that all the time. Whenever I talk, I just end up sounding like a dad, but it's so true. This goes for guy and girl, right? If you don't walk around feeling like you are even irresistible to men, you're never going to get that. This is why I tell you guys the knowledge and the power that I'll give you is not going to be take this magic pill and your life will be changed forever. I'm never going to give you that. I'm sorry. I'm never going to give you the magic pill that's going to, you take it one time and all of a sudden all your dreams and hopes will come true instantly. That's not how life works. And I would be dishonest if I taught you that or made you believe in that. What I'm going to give you are things that might be difficult, you might have to work on, might take some time to develop, but I promise you, if you actually put them into action, you'll get somewhere special. Okay? So when I talk about it girl energy, yeah, you got to start believing that people are going to be obsessed with you, specifically the guys. It's not narcissism to believe in yourself. It's ridiculous. It is not narcissism to believe in yourself. Because the same people that'll tell you, oh, it's narcissism to believe in yourself and to think people should be obsessed with you are the same people who will say, oh, but it's okay if you sit down on a computer or a phone and you sit down consuming every single thing about someone else's life. If you watch all 38 seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians and you know Kim Kardashian's first, middle, and last name, you know everything she's doing, you know every event she's been to, you know everything, you know what her fingerprints look like, you know what her face smells like, you know what deodorant she uses in the morning. Oh, but if you're obsessed with Kim Kardashian, that's okay. If you know everything about Kim Kardashian, that's okay. If you post Kim Kardashian all over your story and all over your timeline, and you talk to everyone about how amazing Kim Kardashian with, oh, no, that's acceptable. You being obsessed with someone else's life and what someone else is doing, that's acceptable. But if you believe in yourself, if you have any sort of self-worth and believe you're worth being obsessed over, no, you're a narcissist now. You're a narcissist now. Nobody likes a narcissist. That's what the world is trying to preach to you. Don't believe in yourself. Don't think about yourself. Don't actually think that you're powerful enough to go out and change your reality and get the things that you want. No. Sit on your couch, be docile, scroll on Instagram and TikTok. Don't ever turn your brain on and think about anything. Just consume. Watch other people live their life, be depressed, be sad, wish that your life could be better than it is, and never actually make any real changes. Don't let your life become that. You are worth being obsessed over. I promise you. Okay, I know I went on a little bit of a rant, but it bothers me. It really bothers me. Right? Amber, even in the YouTube chat, says it's a slap in the face to people who experience a narcissistic abuse. Exactly, right? Narcissism is a medical disease, right? The same way people say, "Oh, I have ADHD," because they find it hard to turn off their phone and study for an hour. You don't have ADHD because you don't feel like getting off TikTok. Let's be for real. Okay. And I'm just saying that to say people are throwing around buzzwords because they don't want to actually take accountability for where they are at. Okay. So don't be that person. Take accountability and work on fixing the things that you have control over, instead of sitting around saying, oh, it's not my fault because I got this, or it's not my fault because I got this, and oh, it's not my fault because this happened and that happened and everything is outside of my control. No, you're in control. Okay. You're capable of changing your reality. Okay. Someone, EG said it's not a medical disease, it's a personality disorder. I can assure you, if you're talking about the ADHD, I can assure you, majority of us are actually just suffering from a lack of willpower. And most of us are capable of doing a lot more than we give ourselves credit for. So I say that to say your focus is not really about a medical disease. Your focus is about your lack of willpower, right? And the choice you make not to do those things. There's a difference between having a medical disease and having little willpower, right? Or choosing not to do something, okay? Or self-sabotaging. Those are completely different things, okay? So just like, and the quicker you start to realize that, hey, like I'm accountable for me. Hey, I should believe in me. Hey, I can take control of my life. Hey, I can see the things that I want in my life. The quicker those things will start to happen for you. The more you sit back and blame the things that are happening in your life on other people. Oh, this person did this to me, it's their fault. Oh, this person acted like this, it's their fault. Oh, this person did this, it's their fault. Oh, everything in my life is outside of my control. I can't control it, so I'll just sit back and let life happen to me. Okay, so let life happen to you. Don't bother listening to me or anyone else. Just sit on your couch, let life hit you in the face, and don't ever do anything about it. Don't ever make a change, because you won't see any changes, because you won't want to get off your butt and take any action. So just keep down the same path you've been on. Don't ever see a difference. Continue being miserable. What a waste of a life. But do whatever, because I'm not going to force you to take action. It's only you that can do that. Okay. So It Girl Energy, let me get back on topic, but It Girl Energy is really about believing in yourself, as simple and as uninteresting as that sounds, as uneventful as that sounds. Okay. It Girl Energy. If you need to, like I said, you start off by every day, every morning, every night, before you go to bed and when you wake up, you just keep repeating, everyone's obsessed with me. Everyone's obsessed with me. Everyone's obsessed with me. Everyone's obsessed with me. Everyone. Just keep it going. Keep it going. Even if you don't believe it, just keep saying it. Because what will happen after a while is your brain will get tired of arguing against yourself and just say, whatever, everyone's obsessed with you, whatever. But what will then happen is when you go out into and live your life, you'll begin seeing evidence of that because you've started to brainwash yourself, right? The example I always give to you guys about how once something enters your bubble, you'll begin to see it all the time. How many of you have ever had a car, right? Or your family's had a car and then you buy a new car or you trade in that car. So you get a different car. And as soon as you get that different car, you drive around and you start noticing that same car everywhere. And you feel like everyone has that same car. Let me know in the chat if that's ever happened to you. When you get a new car or a different car, you start driving around and you notice that car everywhere in the parking lot. You notice that car on the highway. You notice that car on the street. And it feels like, damn, I didn't realize everyone had this same car. And you're like, was there a discount or a rebate or something like that happened that everyone got the same car at the same time as me? Because everywhere I go, it's like everyone has that. Every single day I go out, I see the same car that I have, right? But what's actually happening is not that everyone got the same car at the same time as you. What's actually happening is because you got that car entered your bubble and your vicinity, right? And your life, you're the main character in your own world. So now when you go out, you're actually able to notice that car because your brain and your thoughts is on that car. Brenda says your subconscious reflects your reality. Exactly. Because now that car has entered your bubble, your vicinity, your life, it's now in your subconscious. So when you go out into the world, you begin to see that car and notice that car. The car's existence isn't any more or less than it was before. And it's not any more or less than it will be 10 or 20 years from now. The difference is now that your subconscious and your thoughts is focused on that because you have that car, now you can see evidence of it in your life. The same way as you begin to brainwash yourself, everyone's obsessed with me, everyone's obsessed with me, everyone's obsessed with me. Eventually, you will begin to see evidence of that in your life because you've brought that into your vicinity, into your bubble, into your sphere. And you can't help but notice when you go out, damn, why did that guy just buy me a drink? That was so strange. Or this guy offered me a coffee for no reason. That was kind of weird. Damn, I was walking down the street and these guys tried to ask for my number. Wow, that was crazy. I've never had that happen to me before. And you'll start to notice things that confirm everything you've continued to say to yourself over and over and over and over again. And then the snowball effect begins because as you begin to see evidence for it, then you begin to believe it more. Because now instead of you saying everyone's so obsessed with me and you're like rolling your eyes, you're kind of like, I don't even believe this. Now when you say everyone's so obsessed with me, you're kind of like, yeah, no, honestly, everyone kind of is obsessed with me. Everywhere I go, people be acting crazy around me. Like they are kind of obsessed with me. And then as you continue to see it more and more, right? See evidence of it more and more, you're like, nah, for real, this is real. Everyone truly is obsessed with me. This is not a joke. This is not a prank. Everyone legit is obsessed with me because the way these guys are acting and drooling all over themselves is insane, right? And then the cycle begins where now you really believe it and now you really see it all the time, everywhere you go. Brenda says, yes, then your reality validates your thoughts and it's a circle. Exactly. And it's a snowball effect in the positive direction. You see how things can snowball for you in the negative direction when you continue to believe that, oh, I'm not worth anything. Oh, I'm not worth being loved. I'm not worth being cherished. I'm not worth, I'll never be able to find a good man or a man that won't cheat on me or a man that I can trust. That's exactly what you continue to see over and over and over again. Because as you continue to say that, as you continue to speak that, as you continue to believe that, what are you doing? You're purchasing that car. So when you purchase that car, it now enters your sphere and it becomes a part of your life and a part of your subconscious. So when you're going out on a drive or you're going out and living life, you continue to see everything that you've pulled into your subconscious, right? So it girl energy starts with believing that you're the it girl, believing that everyone's obsessed with you, and you'll begin to see that every day in your life and see the evidence of that everywhere that you go, which will make you believe it more. But you have to start with the affirmation. You have to start just by lying to yourself, even if it seems delusional. Because the only way to get to where you want to go is to manifest it in your mind first. Okay, so that's it girl energy. I know I went on a little bit of a rant, but does that make sense to you guys so far? Am I making sense to you guys so far? Are you guys confused? Someone said I have it girl energy, but I keep self-sabotage. It's okay. We're all a work in progress. Nobody's gonna end up perfect right away. It's a process. Like I said, you're never gonna just, as soon as the first time you start saying everyone's obsessed with me, you're not even gonna believe it. But it's okay. Just keep lying to yourself. Eventually, you'll start seeing it. I'm telling you, it is crazy. And I'm not telling you because, I think that might work for you as a girl. No, I'm telling you from experience. I do that. I still do that every day. I don't say everyone's obsessed with me because I already know everyone's obsessed with me. I say something different, but I say whatever it is that I want to see in my life. Okay? I say whatever it is that I want to continuously see in my life. And I speak that every night and every morning. Okay? And you can do it too. And you'll begin to see that in your life. Even if it's hard, I know it'll be hard. I'll be the first one to tell you right now, because I told you, I'm not giving you no magic pills. I'm not telling you nothing's going to be easy. I'm going to tell you right now, the first time you do it, you're not going to believe it. Especially if you struggle with your self-esteem and your self-worth. The first time you sit in your bed and you say for 30 minutes, everyone's obsessed with me, you're not going to believe it. Okay? But that's fine. Just keep lying to yourself. You keep brainwashing yourself, and eventually you're literally gonna force yourself to believe it. You're literally gonna force yourself to believe it. Okay. Sky said it's hard being alone. Listen, if you can't be with you, how do you expect someone else to be with you? You should enjoy your own company before anyone else can enjoy your company. Okay. Okay. But very important. That's the reason I started with it girl energy, because if you're not carrying around that mindset, that belief in yourself that you are the it girl, nobody else is going to believe that. And if nobody else believes that, nobody else is going to be attracted to you. Because I promise you, the only girls that get the guys to obsess over them are the girls that believe they're worth being obsessed over. There is an aura. Remember I talked about aura? There is an aura to the women that actually believe that guys should be obsessed with them and guys should chase after them and guys should want them and be all over them. There is an aura to those women. And those women carry that aura around with them everywhere that they go. And those are the girls that the guys go, sorry, let me make sure. Do you want $200 for the date or $300? Can I send you money, or please, can I send you money? No, you look so beautiful, so pretty. Can I send you money to go get your nails done? Can I send you money to get your hair done? You got such pretty feet. Can I take pictures of your feet? I'll do anything. I'll crawl on glass. Can I smell your seat when you get up, please? I'll do anything for you. Please. Do you want my credit card? No. I got two. I got the Amex and I got do you want the one with the $10,000 limit or the one with the $100,000 limit? Which one do you want? Do you want my business card? I can give you that one too. Which one would you like? Which store would you like to go? The Louis Vuitton or the Gucci one? I'll pay for either one. Which one do you want to go to? There are girls that get that from guys, but they walk around with that energy. They walk around with that aura. And if other girls can get that from guys, I promise you can also get that from guys. Right? And it's not really about the but you know, it would be, but not all guys are like that. Not all guys who cares? Who cares? At the end of the day, you're only going to be in a relationship with one person. You only need the one person to really be obsessed with you. Right? But in the process of you walking around with that energy, you're going to attract guys that are obsessed with you. And some of those guys can also be beautiful, handsome, attractive, have money. It doesn't just have to be the guys who are low quality. Okay. Sky said, somehow I'm always attracting broke guys. Well, didn't you just say earlier that you have a problem being alone? you struggle to be alone. So imagine how that, the fact that you struggle to be alone, imagine what type of energy you're projecting outwardly if you don't even feel comfortable being alone. So imagine what type of energy you're projecting outwardly, and then imagine how other people are receiving that energy. And then think about how that would relate to you only attracting broke guys. Okay? Think about that. Marissa in the YouTube chat says, okay, but I've gotten that from guys. LOL. It only started recently when I was working on my self concept and stuff. Exactly. The moment you start pouring into and investing in yourself, right, and caring about yourself, will be the moment other people start caring about you and investing in you. Okay? That's the only time. That's the only time. And that's how it starts. That's how it starts. I know we went deep on it, girl energy, but it was so important. Okay? Number one was it girl energy, obviously. Number two, to be irresistible to men is high demand. High demand. Okay? In order for you to be irresistible to men, they need to have the perception that you are in high demand. Now, why do you guys think I say high demand? Why do you guys think high demand is important? Okay? Because high demand is so important to everything that we're trying to get done here. Okay? High demand is so important. What do you guys think I mean when I say high demand? Patsy Pat says, I've learned so much from these live sessions. I'm glad. Okay. Standards. Okay. Men like competition. Men look for women with status, social proof. Okay. Popular, not easily acceptable. Okay. Boundaries. Okay. Interesting. I like these answers. Men want women who other men want. I'm gonna leave it on. I like Portia's answer. Someone pin SH. Can you pin Portia's answer, because I like that answer. That was exactly. I think that was the best way to describe it. Okay, high demand is so important. If you want to be irresistible to men, they have to have the perception, at least, right, that you are in high demand. It is human nature, okay? I don't want you guys to don't get so upset that I'm telling you this and you're like, why do men only want the girls who are in high demand? Listen, I'm not here to tell you what's right and wrong. I'm just here to spread to you the truth so that you can use it in your everyday life. But the truth is, the most irresistible women are in high demand, and they are perceived by those men as being in high demand, which is why they are irresistible. Okay? Right? If you're in really high demand, you will be irresistible to men. And like I say, it's human nature because it's the same way for you. I don't know if you guys know this, and let me know if you've ever experienced this, but guys become a lot more attractive, whether you want to admit it or not, if other girls want them, number one, and also number two, if they're in a relationship. Not that you want them to cheat or anything like that, but watching other women want a man also makes them more attractive. It's human nature for both sides. When I say I shouldn't have said in a relationship, because I knew some of you guys would take it wrong. When I say in a relationship, I don't mean you want him to cheat. I just mean that seeing that other women want a man makes that man more desirable. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have ever experienced this. Tell me. This will be a really good gauge. Have you ever, had a guy that you tell your friend that you like, and let's say your friend has known this guy, since before you said that you like him, but all of a sudden after you say that you like that guy, your friend starts showing him attention or starts having conversations with him or starts being a little bit flirty with him, and you're like, what happened? You never used to care about this guy or think about this guy or mention this guy before. Now all of a sudden when I say I like this guy, all of a sudden you're giving him attention now? Have any of you guys ever experienced that? You tell your friend that you like a guy, and all of a sudden now your friend wants to be friendly with that guy. I'm not saying they're doing it maliciously, but have you ever experienced that where when you tell your friend, hey, I like this guy, I'm into this guy, all of a sudden now your friend wants to be cool, wants to be buddy with this guy? Okay? Someone said all the time, can't trust friends like that, right? It's a natural thing. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, actually. I think it's wrong. Right? But it does happen. Or maybe even if it's not friends, have you ever had a frenemy? You know those people that are kind of like, maybe they're your coworker, or maybe they're just like, an outskirt. They're not really your friend, they're a friend of a friend. But then when they find out that you like a guy, or when they find out that you're into a guy, all of a sudden now that's the guy they want to chase after. A frenemy like that. Or like a coworker like that. Those people that aren't really your friends, but they just kind of know you. And then as soon as they find out you're into a guy, or they see you flirting with the guy, and all of a sudden they want to flirt with that guy. Okay? Right? And these are the type of things CFAT said in the YouTube chat. I told my friend about a UPS guy who would flirt with me every time he brought me a package, and then she started flirting with every UPS guy she came across. LOL. It's funny how we work as human beings, because there's something. Now, I'm not a psychology major, I'm not a doctor, okay? So there's probably a term for it, but there's something to be said for when we see that other people want someone, they become more attractive to us. I think it is, I think one of the ways of thinking about it is groupthink, in a sense. I don't know how many of you guys know what groupthink is, but it's basically just the idea that you're likely to have the same perspective as whatever the group is, or the majority is. So if everyone feels a particular way about something and they voice that to you, you're likely to feel that same way simply because everyone else feels that way, and you don't want to be the only person who believes differently, because you'll feel like you're not being accepted if you don't feel the same as everyone else. You want to be part of someone said Phoenix is so smart, part of the collective, right? So if everyone else believes this and thinks this, you're more inclined and more likely to believe that same thing. I don't know if you guys have ever, do you guys know any celebrities? And you can mention them if you want. Do you guys know any celebrities out in the world that like everyone thinks like they're so good looking, but then when you see them, you're kind of like, what does everyone see in this person? And you're a little bit confused. Right? Even the aspect of that is a little bit of groupthink, because it's not really about how much more attractive any particular celebrity is than anyone else. It's really more about the collective thought that, hey, this person is super, super duper attractive. And so the other person says, I don't know. If I saw them on the street, I don't know if I would think they're that attractive. But as time goes on and they hear that from everyone else over and over and over again, they start to believe like, yeah, actually, no, they're attractive. No, I see it, right? They convince themselves that it's true, because everyone else also believes it. I see all you guys mentioning the different names. I won't make any comment on them. I just think some of these answers are funny, because everyone has their different taste in men. So I think that's very interesting, right? But I'm sure we've all been there where we're kind of like, like this is kind of like, this person's like mid. Why is everyone falling all over themselves for this person, right? But over time, even the aspect of celebrity being famous, there's a reason all the famous people are the most attractive people, because as the collective comes together and says, oh, they're famous, they're powerful, and it makes them attractive, right? Everyone tries to convince themselves, oh my God, this person's so attractive. Oh my God, this person's so much better than everyone else. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? And groupthink takes control. Okay? Groupthink takes control. I say that to say, right? You can take advantage of that by at least giving off the perception that you're in high demand. Okay? Because when you give off the perception that you're in high demand, you're going to trigger that emotion in a man that inspires him to chase after you and motivates him to chase after you. Because if he sees you're in high demand, if he sees all these other guys like you, he's automatically convincing himself. This is why I said these techniques are so amazing, because it doesn't even require you to be a supermodel. He'll convince himself, oh my God, you're so attractive. I see in you what everyone else sees in you. I want you. I desire you. Okay? And they will literally brainwash themselves and convince yourself that you're even more attracted to them than they initially thought. And that stays with them. It's not like, I want you guys to understand, this isn't something where it's like, oh, it only works for a little bit and then it stops working. As you continue utilizing these methods, it will keep on working, right? It will continuously work, right? Crystal says, I can't pretend to like somebody in my face. So it's not about pretending, right? And even these guys that desire you because they see that you're in high demand, it's not about them pretending to like you so they can get you and the other guys don't have you. It's literally a switch in the brain that says, oh no, I see they're attractive now, right? I see what other people see. All the guys want her. I see why they want her, right? And they literally convince themselves that they're attracted to you, and they truly believe that, right? They truly, in their soul and their spirit, believe that they're super attracted to you. Okay? And so then your question probably comes, how can I make myself be in high demand? How can I present myself as someone who is in high demand? Let me tell you, you can do it in very subtle ways. It doesn't have to be something super extravagant, something super crazy. This is why I bring up It Girl energy first, because It Girl energy will attract more people to you. And in the process of you just being a normal human being, being friendly, being kind, being open, being personable, being charismatic, because the It Girl energy will attract people. It will also make you more charismatic. Those guys will get an opportunity to see how much other people desire you. They'll see how much your energy and the person that you are is attracting other men to you. Right? See how they kind of all work together. Because as you have It Girl energy, you'll attract more people, which will make you be in more demand, which will also make him more attracted to you. So I want you to allow guys to see that at any chance you get. So if you have a coworker that is the guy that you want to really get to be obsessed with you and make yourself irresistible to, then you should make sure you put yourself in a position where he can see the other coworkers who also desire you and want you. I'm not saying you gotta, do anything crazy. I'm not saying you gotta put your hands on anyone. I'm not saying you gotta make it super extra sensual and overly flirty. Just be yourself and allow him to see how much the other coworkers want you. Or if it's at a party and you see other guys are eyeing you down. Now, I'm talking about if you're single, okay? I'm not saying you should go out and do this stuff if you're in a relationship. But if you see other guys are eyeing you down and you have a particular guy at the party that you want, and he's probably also looking in your direction or noticing you, and this other guy comes up to you and he's chatting with you, have a nice chat with him. Get the guy laughing, or you know what I mean? Allow him to be all, not all over you. Don't have to put his hands on you, but if he wants to give you some flirty energy, give him some flirty energy back. Let the guy that you want see that other guys are wanting you. Other guys want to take your number. Other guys want to get your Instagram. Okay? Listen to me. I didn't say be toxic. Because I don't want you guys going out saying that's wrong. Why are you teaching us to be toxic people or toxic human? No. I'm not saying to be toxic. There's a way to go about this with the balance. Okay. But I would be lying to you if I wasn't honest with you by telling you, hey, yeah, if guys are seeing that all these other guys want you and give you a lot of flirty energy and they chase after you, yeah, it's going to make you more attractive. I'm sorry. I have to be honest with you. And so if you want to utilize that, don't complain about that. Utilize it so that you can get what you want. Right? Utilize it so that you can get what you want. That girl said did that and he left the party. Maybe he was upset, but he felt something. Even if he leaves the party, what do you think he left the party thinking about? He left the party thinking about you. So is the mission accomplished or is the mission accomplished? Right? I want you guys to understand human beings are so complex and emotions are so complex. There are no really bad emotions and good emotions. They're just emotions, because all emotions can be used in a positive or negative way. Because Sky even mentioned jealousy, right? Because that's kind of what I'm kind of almost getting at, is the emotion of jealousy. But even jealousy isn't necessarily always a bad emotion. Jealousy can be used in a way that is positive. You can increase someone's desire by sprinkling in a little bit of jealousy there. Right? Because the jealousy reminds them how much they want you. It also reminds them how much they want you more than the other person. Right? And let's be so for real. We're talking about men here. So if we're talking about men here and we don't talk about the competition aspect as it relates to women, then we're just lying to ourselves. If we don't want to be real about men and how they think and how they act, we're just lying to ourselves. Okay. And any man that comes around and tells you, oh, no, life's not a competition for women. Life's not okay. Keep letting them sell you a dream. Because the reality of it is, whether the men want to admit it to you or not, right? The women that are the most desirable, it is a competition for them. And only the men who are the most desirable will get the women who are the most desirable. So it is a reflection on you as a man if you're able to get the women who are the most desirable. So if he thinks you are the most desirable, he also knows that getting you is a reflection of how desirable he is. Let's just be so all the way for real. Let's not sugarcoat stuff, because you guys can't utilize any of this information if I sugarcoat it. It is a competition. So don't fight it. Utilize it to your advantage so you can let him see there's a competition. And hey, it's survival of the fittest out here. May the best man win. Because what happens is his motivation to win, his motivation to get you, his motivation to make you his girl is what's going to make him act right, is what's going to make him treat you right, is what's going to make him treat you with respect and do the things that you want him to do, because you hold the cards. When you hold the desire, you hold the cards, because he's asking you, what do I have to do to earn you? And you're in the driver's seat, which is exactly where you want to be. When you're over here, oh, I'm not worthy of anything. No, guys shouldn't be obsessed with me. No, I'm not the type of guy that guys will obsess over. No. I'm not worthy of that. I just want a man to maybe love me sometimes one day and text me back a couple of times. You know, that's all I really want, is really just like the bare minimum. So then what happens is, when you come across a guy who finally shows you some interest, right? You have all of this desperate energy and you're like, oh my God, you finally like me? Please stay. Can you finally like me? Oh my God. I just can't believe that someone finally likes me. And they're kind of like, if you're like this, then there's no competition for you. If you're like this, then you're not in high demand. If you're like this, then nobody else wants you. That's why you're so desperate. So all of this subconsciously shows him that there's no reason for him to be desiring you. You don't even think of yourself as desirable. And clearly, if you don't think of yourself as desirable, then nobody else desires you. So he's kind of in this big house by himself, and he's chasing after. He thinks to himself, I'm telling you, on a subconscious level, right? When he sees that you're so desperate for his love and attention and you don't believe that you're worth anything, right? What he tells himself is, damn, why am I chasing after the girl that nobody wants? Because even when I get her, it's not going to be a good reflection on me. I'm just going to have the girl that nobody wants. Right? Because at the end of the day, we're always thinking about ourselves, whether directly or indirectly. It's just the truth. Like you've only ever spent the most amount of time you spent with someone is the time you spent with yourself. You will never know or care about anyone else more than you care about you. It's just the reality. It's just the reality. Men and women. So I say that to say, him getting you is a reflection of how desirable and how awesome and amazing he is. So if he thinks you're super awesome and amazing, he also knows if he gets you, he knows that if he gets you, that means that he's so awesome and amazing. Okay? It's a reflection on him. But if he sees that you don't even believe you're awesome and amazing and nobody else wants you and nobody else is chasing after you, then he says to himself, even if I do get you, even if I do put in all this work to be with you, I'm chasing you for what reason? Nobody else wants you. There's no win here. Nobody's going to think I'm amazing because I got you. There's no competition for you. Right? Sky says, I'm just super reserved and he thinks no one wants me. There's a difference between, you can see, the thing is, it girl energy is not about being obnoxious. It girl energy is not about dressing provocatively. It girl energy is not about being the loudest girl in the room. It girl energy is not about standing on top of the table and twerking. It girl energy is not about making everyone in the room laugh or telling the best stories. Okay? It girl energy can be subtle. It girl energy can be subtle confidence. It girl energy you can still keep to yourself and not embarrass yourself or be obnoxious and have it girl energy. I don't want you guys to project when I say confidence and charisma that it means you gotta be in the middle of the dance floor standing on the table twerking in front of everyone. That's not it girl energy. Okay? And this is why I say people don't even have to meet you or speak to you to feel your energy exuding out of you. Let me ask you guys a question. Remember how I talked about the confident guy and the unconfident guy? Let's even say you never spoke to a guy at a party, right? Can you tell by the way a guy walks around and maneuvers himself around in a party if he's confident in himself or insecure? Can you tell by the way a guy moves around and speaks to other people? You don't know him, you don't meet him, you don't talk to him, right? You just see him, you just watch him. Can you tell if a guy is confident or if he's insecure just by watching him maneuver around a party? I see Malik say yes, Portia says for sure. Love says nope. SH says yes. I see a lot of people saying yes. Okay? If we can admit that we can tell someone's confidence level or insecurity level, not even by meeting them or seeing them, just by watching them maneuver around a room, that should tell you you don't have to dance on a table to have it girl energy. Because you're saying right now that you can feel someone's energy across the room, right? In your soul, just by watching them. So if you can admit that, then you're also admitting that people can feel you having it girl energy even if you don't stand on a table and dance, even if you don't yell and scream, even if you don't tell a whole bunch of jokes, even if you're not twerking your booty cheeks left and right. Okay? It girl energy isn't about being obnoxious. It's not about being the loudest person in the room. You can be subtle and be yourself and still have it girl energy. Okay? It's the truth. Then that was a perfect example. Okay, so high demand is number 2. Number 3 is kind of in relation to high demand, but in the opposite sense. Number 3 is scarcity. Okay? Scarcity, because relationships are a lot like business. Okay? Because business, right? Good business and good marketing is a function of human psychology. And human psychology is all about getting and eliciting a response from human beings in a particular way or in a particular manner to get them to make a specific decision. In the business world, it's about basically manipulating human emotion in the way that humans will naturally respond to things to get them to purchase your product or your service. Right? They only get that concept from human psychology. That's the only way the business works, is by understanding how human beings work. So if you're mirroring the principles of business or marketing, right? You're going to be mirroring the principles of human psychology. And the whole point of business is to get someone, like I said, to purchase your product or service, right? That's the goal. And for you, the whole point of your business is you, and you're trying to get these men who desire you. Okay? So the reason I say scarcity is because as a man feels like you're in high demand, but you're also scarcely available to all of those men, it makes you that much more desirable. Because it's not just you're in high demand and you're available to everyone. No, you're in high demand and you're available to no one. Right? Love said everyone's obsessed with me. I'm glad you're saying it. Everyone repeat it back in the chat. Just keep saying it, right? And it's amazing, right? Because when you're scarce, right? When you present yourself as scarce and you're in high demand, oh my God, guys can't help themselves. Like, this is what I mean by you have to understand, when you do things like this, when you do methods like this, you're triggering parts of a man that he has no control over. Okay? You're triggering parts of the human brain that the man couldn't turn off even if he wanted to. Even if he held I don't even want to say it, but even if he tried his hardest to, he couldn't turn these parts of his brain off, right? He couldn't make these techniques unwork on him because it's just human psychology. Okay? If you're doing these things right, he will be forced to be obsessed with you. It's not a choice that he can make. Right? The same way, if you market a product well, not saying you're a product, but I'm just saying as an example, as an analogy, the same way in business, if you market a product well and you create that high demand and that scarcity, people will gladly overpay for whatever it is you're selling. Have you guys seen the craze that's going on about the Stanley Cups and how unavailable the Stanley Cups are? They're like sold out everywhere. People are selling them on eBay for like $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 for a Stanley Cup. I wish I had my water bottle with me. It's a regular, probably like metal cup with the straw in it. I don't know if you guys have seen that craze about the Stanley Cups. Right? Lady Empress says, my kids love those. It's ridiculous. They're in such high demand now because a couple videos went viral and a bunch of people were buying them up, and now they're not available in stores anymore. And so because they're not available in stores anymore and everyone wants them, it's creating this panic where people are buying them up even more and then selling them for like triple the price. Not even triple, like 100 times the price. It's ridiculous. Okay? And nothing has changed about the Stanley Cup from when it started going viral to in its inception. The actual physical product hasn't changed that much, right? The actual physical product has not changed that much. The only difference is the demand is so high that it has outweighed the amount of product they even have available. And because the demand is so overwhelming and there's no product, it creates even more demand. So it creates this snowball effect where there's more scarcity because there's more demand. And because there's more scarcity, there's even more demand. And there's a vicious cycle where now people are selling those same Stanley Cups that you could have just gone to the store and buy, right, for relatively cheap. Now they're being sold for 10 times the price, and it's the same Stanley Cup. But because of the way they've been marketed and because of the way they went viral and the demand has increased so much, it has taken the scarcity way up as well. And so because the scarcity is up along with the demand, now you have a whole bunch of people who will do anything for the Stanley Cup. Okay, now the value is way more. Now if I tell you I'll give you a Stanley Cup or I'll give you an average $20 water bottle or a thermostat or thermos flask, right? You'd be like, oh, I want the Stanley Cup. I want the Stanley Cup. Even if the thermo flask is just as good or a little bit better than the Stanley Cup. Because the Stanley Cup's demand is so high, the scarcity is so high, it doesn't even matter what the quality of the actual product is. Because your mind is so focused on the demand and the scarcity, you don't care what the quality is. You've convinced yourself that the quality is amazing. This is why I say when you utilize these methods, you don't have to be a supermodel. You don't have to look like Jennifer Lopez. You don't have to look like Kim Kardashian. You don't have to be anyone but yourself. and implement these strategies, and people will be worshiping you at your feet. Okay? Because it's not about your physical traits. It's not about your physical attractiveness. Okay? It's about understanding how to utilize, I don't want to say manipulate because everyone takes that the wrong way, utilize the human emotion and the way people work and think, right, to make yourself more desirable. Okay? And as the scarcity goes down for you, your demand goes up because less people can have you, and the less people can have you, and the more demand there is because the less people can have you, and the more, it's just a snowball effect. Okay, and you can do that too. You can create severe scarcity. So obviously you guys are asking, well, how do I create scarcity? How am I supposed to create scarcity? Well, I'm so glad you asked. You're going to have to be a little bit unavailable. A lot of it, actually. Okay? When I say a little bit unavailable, you're going to have to probably, when I say keep to yourself, I mean you don't want to be out there so much where you're available to anyone at any time. Okay? And some people might be like, well, but that's boring. I'm not saying you got to keep to yourself and do nothing and stay inside all the time. I'm just saying you shouldn't be available to everyone all the time, 24/7. Okay? Balance. I'm not saying go to one extreme or the other. There's a way to be scarce that's attractive while still creating interest in people. Okay. Charlie says, what about your own boyfriend? You can be scarce even with your own boyfriend. Now, obviously, it's going to be a bit jarring if he's used to you being a particular way and then all of a sudden he sees you're totally different. But what I would say if you were, I said Charlie, Carly. What I would say is if you want to do that with your boyfriend, find a passion or a hobby that you're interested in and you actually genuinely care about, and invest some of your time and energy into that, because then you won't have to fake scarcity. You'll actually have things to do and things that you care about and things to work on outside of just being with him and spending time with him. So he'll realize, oh my God, she actually cares about other things other than just spending time with me. Damn, she's a little bit more scarce to me. Damn, I kind of got to schedule my week around what she's doing as well. It's not just, oh, whenever I'm free, we hang out or we do whatever. I actually got to think about, damn, are you free next week, Tuesday at 5 p.m.? Because like I'm free then, but I want to make sure you're free because I know you got a busy schedule, right? And what happens is he starts to think, damn, like I kind of, I got to work to get, I get access to her. I got to make sure I plan for it. I got to make sure if I want to go on a date, I got to make sure I plan like a week in advance. She a busy woman. She got things to do. Right? Or she got things she cares about. She got things that are important to her. I'm not the be all and end all of her life, Not that she doesn't care about me, but it's not like, if the only thing she has going for her is me in her life. It's okay. Like when a boy realizes and thinks that, whether it's your boyfriend or a guy you're talking to, when he realizes like he's not the be all and end all of your life and like you're good, like you have things going for yourself, like that's attractive. Like that's a good, healthy version of love. Okay. That's a good, healthy version of love. It's not a bad thing that he realizes that you have other things going for yourself than just, him. You never want to give someone, whether it be a relationship or a situationship, whatever, you never want to give someone the impression that they're the be all and end all of your life and you have nothing going for you or nothing that you care about or nothing that's important to you other than them. You never want to give someone that amount of power, because the only thing people will do with that amount of power is they'll abuse it and they'll take advantage of you. Someone said, except if he's a narcissist. Well, I'm not trying to give you guys advice to be in a relationship with a narcissist. So yeah, right? The moment you let a guy believe that he's your entire world and there is nothing you care about or that is important to you, that you're pursuing, that matters to you, your life is just him and only him, and nothing else matters to you except for him, they're going to take advantage of that. They're going to take advantage of that, just like anyone would, right? The same Stanley Cup that everyone's paying 10 times the price for, if instead of the demand being so high and the scarcity being so low, if I was on the street offering you a free brand new Stanley Cup and everywhere you went, everyone was offering people free Stanley Cups, I guarantee you wouldn't think the Stanley Cup was as valuable as you do now when you're seeing it go viral and you're seeing it sell out of stores, right? And it's not about the quality changing. It's simply that if it's readily available to you all the time, everywhere for free, your human nature is naturally going to convince you that it's really not worth that much. Because if people are giving it away on the street for free, it's probably not that valuable, even if the quality is insane. That's why no matter what you're selling in business, no matter what product or service you're selling, it's really not about how good your product is. It's really never about that. It's mostly about how good your marketing of that product or service is. Right? The same way in your relationship with people and human beings, it's really not about how physically attractive your human body is. It's really not. Right? It's more about how well or how poorly you market the person that you are. And so market would be the perception, right? That's more important, right? Gabby says, if they really love you, your scarcity will make them want to see you. Exactly. There is a balance to being scarce, even to people who already love you and care about you and want to be with you, where it makes them want you even more. If I told you that you can have anything in my kitchen to eat, you can have anything in the fridge, anything on the counter, anything in the cupboard, right? You're probably going to go through and maybe pick something you like, or maybe you'll realize you're not hungry. But if I tell you can have anything to eat in my house, you can have anything in the cupboards, anything in the fridge, anything on the kitchen, anything on the stove, except you cannot at all costs, you cannot touch the chocolate chip cookies in the cookie jar on top of my fridge. That is the only thing you better not lay your hands on. Everything else is available to you. What's the only thing you're going to start thinking about or having interest in? I wonder what the chocolate chip cookies on top of the fridge taste like. I wonder why he doesn't want me to eat those chocolate chip cookies. And now all of a sudden, even if I got a 5-course meal laid out, even if I got the most amazing snacks in the cupboard, I've got caviar and lobster and rigatoni and veal and 5 amazing sandwiches, burgers, sausages, glizzies, everything, Jamaican patties, oxtail, everything, plantain, everything you could possibly ever want is laid out there. All you're thinking about is those silly chocolate chip cookies that are sitting on top of my fridge. Because I gave you access to everything for free, and I only denied you access to the chocolate chip cookies, which is why the only thing you can focus on or think about is the chocolate chip cookies. Scarcity will make you irresistible. Okay? Number 4. Okay, so for those of you who have not been keeping track, we've had 1 is it girl energy, 2 is high demand, number 3 is scarcity. Number 4, emotional security. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably like, okay, this one I've never really heard of. This one I don't really understand when you say it. Ooh, excuse me. Emotional security is important for a couple of reasons, okay? It ties into kind of everything we've been talking about. Because emotional security is just the opposite of emotional insecurity. Okay. And I'm so glad that this is why I love having every different perspective in the chat and different points of views. Because remember at the beginning of the live stream when I was talking about it girl energy, and then someone mentioned, I think that person's gone now, but someone mentioned having it girl energy and thinking that everyone should be obsessed with you. That's narcissism. That is narcissism. I don't agree with that. Right? Emotional security, right, is also the process and the concept of believing in yourself, validating yourself, right? Having confidence in yourself. Because what happens is when you have all of those things, you are whole. And I don't mean whole as in like a hole inside you. I mean like whole as in like your spirit and your soul. Okay? You are whole. And what happens when you are whole, you don't need or seek other people's validation. You don't need or seek other people to have confidence in you or believe in you, right? Because you believe in yourself. You validate yourself. You know that you're beautiful. You know that you're valuable. You know that you're worth something. You don't need, I'm not saying it wouldn't be nice to hear it, but you don't need someone else to tell you that in order for you to believe it, because you already believe it, right? And that emotional security will come across in the way that you talk. And it will also come across a lot in the way that you deal with people in a relationship. Even the guys who are not as emotionally intelligent will feel that subconsciously. They'll feel it in the way you act and the way you treat them and the way you treat the relationship if you have emotional security or a lot of emotional insecurity. One of the people that's been really active in the chat, and I appreciate the honesty and the activity in the chat, is Sky. And earlier in the chat, Sky said that, I don't like being alone. Okay. And I mentioned to Sky, not to single out Sky, but I mentioned, because I'm sure some of you guys have that problem as well. But I mentioned to Sky, how do you think other people perceive that? Because they're feeling that energy as well, right? When you know that you can't be alone, right? There's a particular type of energy you project outwardly, right? When that's how you feel about yourself. How do you think other guys subconsciously are receiving that in the ways that you talk to them or in the relationships that you have when you don't feel like you can be alone? Oh, you guys are so smart. Norma says, clinging, I am, right? But clinging is definitely one of the ways, even on a subconscious level, guys will be perceiving you if you believe in yourself that I can't be alone. I can't spend time by myself. I need to be with someone. I need to have someone around, right? The guys will feel that. Whether or not they're emotionally intelligent enough to feel that is irrelevant, or to notice that is irrelevant, because they'll feel that. That's why I said all of this relationship stuff is spiritual. Even if you don't have a religion, it's still spiritual. Because there's something to be said for all the things that go on in our relationships and in our interactions as human beings that is not just the physical three-dimensional reality, okay? Whether you're religious or not, you have to accept that, right? Tiffany also said in the YouTube chat, always available. Exactly. You'll come across as needy, clingy, or always available because you don't feel like you can be by yourself. So whether or not the guys realize that on a subconscious or a conscious level, they will be less attracted to that, right? Because you don't have the emotional security in yourself. You don't represent someone who has it girl energy. And if you don't have it girl energy, how can you be in high demand? If you're not in high demand, how can you be scarce? You see how they all kind of flow into each other and are of each other, right? Because you'll only have emotional security if you are the it girl, truly. You'll only have emotional security if you are the it girl. And if you are the it girl, you'll definitely be in high demand. And if you are in such high demand, you'll definitely be scarce. Okay? That's why the emotional security is so important. That's why I talk to you guys all the time about find out what your purpose is or find out what you're passionate about. Find out what you care about other than just being a girlfriend. Okay? That's not your only purpose in life, is to be a girlfriend or a wife. Okay? You're intelligent, smart, capable, right? You're worth a lot more than just being a girlfriend. I'm not saying that you shouldn't want to be a girlfriend or a wife, but you are worth more than just that. Limi said, I need a hobby. I would advise 100%. I would advise each and every one of you to take up a hobby or just go out and try things. Like, that is probably the number one issue that a lot of you guys are having. You're sitting here on your couch thinking, oh, but I don't know what I like. I don't know what I'm into. I don't know what I'm passionate about. I don't know what my hobby is. Well, you go out and you try some things, okay? It's not rocket science. Like I told you, I'm not going to give you guys a magic pill that's going to solve all your problems. Right? And anyone that's going to convince you of that is lying to you. I will not give you no magic pill that will solve all your problems. I'm not going to give you a magic pill that's going to tell you exactly what you should do and exactly what you're passionate about and exactly what your hobby should be. You're going to have to figure that out. And the only way for you to figure that out is to get off your butt and go and try things. Try things that you're uncomfortable with. Try things that you don't like. Try something. I told you guys this yesterday. You live in a microwave society. You have so much knowledge at your fingertips on your phone. Before, when you lived in a town and you wanted to go out and explore new things, you had to know people. You had to ask a bunch of people questions. You had to have friends. You had to have connections to get places and do things or to hear about stuff. Nowadays, everything is so easy. Not even just Google. If you're even lazier than that, you can go on TikTok. I'm so serious. Try this after you watch the live. You'll be shocked. You can go on TikTok. And if you live in a suburb or you live in a suburb that's on the outskirts of a bigger city, you can go on TikTok and type in things to do in whatever city you live in. Things to do in Toronto, Ontario. That's where I live. Things to do in Los Angeles, California. Things to do in New York. Things to do in Miami. Why are you in Miami? Things to do in Paris. Things to do in Manchester. Okay? Wherever you live, you can look up things to do there. You can even be as specific as to say date night, right? In my city that's not a restaurant, right? There's content creators that literally, I'm telling you, they literally make content around things to do that isn't going to a bar, club, or restaurant, because obviously those are the most likely things that people would do, right? Limi says, would you ever go live with your audience and listen to their concerns like KB does? Yeah, I would definitely be down to do that. Right? Your life is very easy. If you're watching me, you have Wi-Fi, unless you're watching me homeless on the street, in which case I think you have other things that are more of a priority. But you have access to Wi-Fi, right? Which means you have access to knowledge and a phone. So you can type in things to do in your city and figure out some things to do. Marissa said in the YouTube chat, oh my God, you said to do this yesterday, so I did, and I found a bunch of cool stuff in my city. It's so amazing. Even me, and like I said, guys, the things that I tell you guys, it's not stuff that I pull it out of my butt and I've never tried it, okay? Me, myself, I discovered hundreds of different things to do in Toronto that I never even realized were awesome, interesting things that I could be doing until I went on TikTok and realized that I could be doing them. There's a spot, and I still haven't went to it and I want to go to. There's a spot in Toronto where you can go there for a date night and you can make like a rug. Like you can, in like the couple hours, you can design and create a personalized rug. Like a big rug that you could put in your house or like a doormat or whatever, right? And if you have a significant other or something like that, you can go with them and you can have a date night out of making this rug, and then you actually get to go home with the rug. That's completely 100% personalized and is part of a shared experience, right? And it's something that's so cool and unique that I never would have thought of or even knew existed if it wasn't for me searching on TikTok. Okay? So rather than mindlessly scrolling, utilize these tools that you have to your advantage to live a better life and a more interesting life. So if you don't know what hobbies to do or what you should even try because you don't know where to go on TikTok because you're already on there. You already know how to use it and search things to do in my city. So you don't even have to do the work of exploring. You can have other people explore for you and you can go through and see, maybe I think that's interesting. I'll go try that. I never knew that existed. I'll go try. You'll be shocked. If you live in a big city or even in a suburb on the outskirts of a city, you'll think that, I know everything that there is to do in that city. I know everything there is to do in my city. There's no point me searching. You'll be shocked when you actually do some research about how little you actually knew about your city and how many interesting things to do there are that were closer to you than you ever even realized. And you'll be like, damn, I was passing that spot every single day on my way to work and I never realized that that's what that spot was. Okay? CFAT in the YouTube chat said, I like exploring my city and doing new things, but I'm so introverted, it's hard for me to socialize. That's the amazing, beautiful part about searching for it. You can actually do whatever works for you. Right? It doesn't have to be, there's this new there's this new wine or cooking class where you gotta come there and you gotta meet everyone and talk to everyone and do everything. Like, you can find a thing to do that is like, okay, you can do an activity around people with no pressure to like socialize. Those are usually, if you are a super shy, introverted person, I would advise you, because I know you guys like to have actionable items. If you're a super introverted person and you want to find a hobby or a thing to do, but you're really shy, I would advise for you to go find an activity, right, in your city or in the major city around you that you can go do that doesn't require you to socialize with people, but you're around people. So for example, if you like painting and you like art, right? Go to a paint class or an art class where you guys are meant to like paint a specific sculpture, or maybe you paint a naked person, right? All together. There's no pressure for you to socialize with those people because you can go there by yourself and just paint. But in the process of you being around people and having a shared experience and doing the activity, you're obviously going to be inclined to socialize with them, and conversations are going to strike. You might not know exactly how they strike, but because there's no pressure, right, they just happen, right? And you can have the conversation over whatever the activity is. So there's not even the pressure of having to think of, what do I talk about? What do I say? You can just talk about, hey, it's crazy that we're both painting a naked man right now. Isn't that insane? I've never done this before. Ha ha ha, that's so funny. Ha ha ha, I like your smile. Ha ha ha, you want to go out for coffee later? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's you there's no pressure, right? But you see how it's so easy to put yourself in a good situation if you'll actually do something, right? The more you sit around thinking, but there's nothing for me to do. I can't do it. But it's too hard. But I'm too shy. You'll never, ever be able to actually realize like, hey, actually, no, I went out and did it and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Actually, it was so much fun. Actually, I'll do it again. Actually, I'll do it all the time. Okay? But if you sit around contemplating how shy you are and how hard it'll be for you to get along with people and how hard it'll be for you to relate to people, you'll never actually go out and meet anyone. And then you'll be stuck in the same place for the rest of your life. And that's no fun. Your life is a lot better off going out and having an awkward encounter with someone in an art class than it is going to the bar and having an awkward encounter with a guy who just wants to smash you the same night. Because at least if you have an awkward encounter with someone in an art class, maybe it'll be so awkward that it's memorable, and maybe you guys will be able to laugh about the awkwardness on a date. But I guarantee you, the guy you meet at the bar is more than likely only going to want to see you for tonight. And then in the morning, he'll go about his day in his life and he'll never think or call you again. Right? Ali said, and you already have something in common. Exactly. And think about how awesome and interesting that story is. Think about this too. Think about how much more in the process of meeting different people. Think about how much more you stand out to another person when you meet them at an art class or cooking class or wine tasting class or whatever, or a dance class. Something where they probably stepped outside of their own comfort zone to come and be a part of, right? Think about how much more you stand out to that person than if they were to meet you at a club or a bar or on a dating app. Right? Because when you meet someone on a dating app, you're scrolling through a sea of hundreds of different people. So how, even when they do meet you or think that you're cool, how are they really supposed to differentiate you in their mind from all the other people that they've met on the dating apps or could meet on the dating apps? How are you supposed to stick out in their mind? How are you supposed to become irresistible in their mind or be that special someone in their mind when they meet you the same way that they meet everyone else? Someone said, what about, I think someone even said earlier, what about on a dating site? That's why I always advise you guys to not be on dating sites. Not because I think it's impossible to find love or anything like that. I just think that you start from you start with a disadvantage that way. Okay? And I think it's unnecessary to start off in a relationship with that disadvantage because you're putting yourself in a sea of other people. Maria said, speak slow, please. Sorry. You're putting yourself, am I speaking fast, guys? You're putting yourself in a sea of other people, right? Where there's no particular way for you to stand out. Like you have to step outside of your own bias of being you, right? Because I know you believe that you're amazing and awesome, but for a second, step outside of your own bias and realize that other people are not seeing all the amazing qualities about you. You are just another human being. The same way the stranger on the street is just another human being to you, you are actually just another human being to someone else. So I say that to say when you're on these dating apps, you're just another swipe left or swipe right. Right? But the problem is, how can you be it girl energy? How can you be in high demand? How can you be scarce? How can you be all the things that I described make you irresistible to a man if you are just like everyone else on the dating app? Right? How can you embody any of those qualities when everything about you is just like everyone else, at least on the dating app? Right? How can he see that in you? Right? Lady Empress said your talk just made me tell this dude go beat it. I'm glad. Right? Now you can attract some good high quality men. Because I want you guys to attract good high quality men. I don't just want you guys to be single forever and spend all your days with me. I want you to have a happy relationship, but I want you to get the high quality rich man that you deserve. Okay? And like I say, right? That's why I would advise against dating apps. Your energy, because you only have 100% of your energy is better spent thinking about the things you can do or the places you can go that isn't the club or the bar or a restaurant, right? Where you can meet new people and be around new people and just allow yourself to not think so hard about, oh my God, but am I going to meet the perfect man? Am I going to meet a guy who looks exactly like this or really likes me? Just focus your energy on going to that place and doing that thing that you're interested in or you care about or you want to try. In the process of that, the things that will fall into place will fall into place. I promise you. Okay? But use your energy. Instead of putting it towards, oh, how do I create the best dating profile? I would advise you, how can I go to the most interesting places that I've never tried before and, have an interesting experience? That is a much better way to go about things and a much better place to put your energy into. Okay? Because like I said, when he finally does meet you in the art class or the museum or the wherever it is that you guys go to and you guys meet each other, it'll be a much more memorable experience for you and him. You and him. And that experience will also shape the view and the perspective that he has about you. What like this is why I say you got to be real with yourself. What do you think a guy is going to think about you if he meets you in the club? I'm not saying it's necessarily a representation of who you really are, but I just want you to step outside of your own bias and really think, what do you think is most likely going to be his perspective of you if he meets you in a club or a bar? Right? Brianna said it perfect, and that activity will remind him of you. Exactly. Be mindful of that, guys. Be mindful of that. Wherever you meet this guy is going to also affect the way he treats you. I know some of y'all don't want to hear that. Where you meet a guy is going to affect the way that he treats you. And like I said, the same way, remember what I said about marketing? Marketing is not about the actual quality of your product. Marketing is about the perception of your product. I'm not saying that you're an item, but what I'm saying is think of that same concept in a relationship. It's not about whether you're a good girl or a bad girl, or whether you're a loyal girl or you're a caring, nurturing girl. If he meets you in the club, you're marketing yourself a specific way. He's going to treat you a specific way because he values you a specific way based on that perception, based on your marketing. You need to do the job of taking control of your marketing, aka your perception. Because the more you take control of your marketing and your perception, it's going to change how much these guys value you. And if they value you more than they value any other girl, trust you me, they will act right. There is no one that acts more right than a guy who values a woman. Okay? Doesn't matter how amazing he is, how rich and powerful he is. If he really values a woman, he will act right. He will do the things that need to be done. Okay? But part of that perception, part of your marketing is understanding that where he meets you is going to affect your marketing. It's going to affect your marketing. Okay? Now, the last one, number 5, because we just had emotional security, is number 4. Number 5 is mystery. Okay? Number 5 is mystery. Now, mystery is a little bit confusing because everyone starts to think to themselves, well, what really is mystery? Like, what is that really about? I don't know how to create mystery. I don't know how to be mysterious. I'm not a mysterious person. You don't have to be, I'm trying to think, you don't have to be a supervillain or a CIA agent to be mysterious, okay? You don't have to be. You can be a regular person and be mysterious, trust you me. Because mystery is also part of your marketing. Mystery, right, is also part of the things that make people think about you more, make people wonder about you, right? There is something so, I'm going to tell you the truth as a man. There is something so fascinating about a woman who is about herself, into herself, and just goes about life in this really beautiful way where it's kind of like she just has a glow. But you just you see her and you're like, I just wonder about her. I wonder what she's like. I wonder how she thinks. I wonder what her life is like. I wonder where she's been. And there's something really magical about when a girl carries herself a very specific way. It just creates this really interesting gravitational pull where you just want to seek her out more. You just want to know more about her. You just want to learn her and understand her. If you can only just grab a hold of her, it's like she's like water. Every time you try to grab a hold of her, it just slips through your hands, right? There's something about the psychology of that makes you irresistible to a man, right? And like I always say, the mystery doesn't. You don't have to go to an extreme. Like, you don't have to be a CIA agent to be mysterious, right? You can have mystery about you just by simply keeping to yourself. Okay? You can have mystery about you just by simply taking care of yourself, not looking for the validation of others, not looking for others to tell you what to do or how to act or how to speak or how to think, right? When you become an independent thinker, when you start to make decisions for you because they're the best decision for you, when you start to move around and make decisions for your life and for yourself with confidence, when you're able to look in the mirror and truly believe you're the it girl, when you're able to pour into yourself, take care of yourself, take yourself on nice dates, take yourself out to give yourself a nice present, reward yourself, do things for yourself, care for yourself, have days that you love yourself. Okay? You walk around with an aura that is mysterious because people begin to wonder about you. Why is she not fazed by the world around her? Why is she not shaken by everything that's going on? Why is she not trying to be more like everyone else? Why is she always just being herself? Because, like I talked to you guys about the previous four, the it girl energy, high demand, scarcity, emotional security. When you truly have those things, right, you won't try to be more like the crowd. You'll try to be more like yourself. And the more you try to be like yourself, the more people will be attracted to you for being you. You understand what I'm saying? The more you spend, the more time and investment you pour into yourself, the more people will be like, you know what? You're the type of person I want to be around, because I see how you only want to be you. You only want to be yourself. You only want to, you're not fazed by what other people are doing, what other people are thinking, how other people are feeling, right? That takes extreme confidence, not arrogance. That takes confidence to believe in yourself so much that you don't want to be anyone else but you. Because a lot of us are trying to be someone else, right? A lot of us have jealousy and insecurity in ourselves that we find it hard and difficult to be ourselves. Stephanie said, is this pre-recorded? No, it's not. I can see her comment. We find it difficult to be ourselves, right? Which is why in the world, we tend to admire people who are more themselves than they are other people. Because subconsciously, we all have a desire to be more of ourselves and less of other people. I seen somebody earlier in the chat that was talking about, they said, oh, this is embarrassing. I feel ashamed for you or whatever. Why you on here? I think it was Apple user, whatever. I seen the comment. I like to, he said, bro is not mysterious. Then he said, something else about, bro just found out about self-respect, whatever. Right. I think comments like that are so interesting because it's a perfect example of what I was talking about, right? Because imagine if you didn't like what someone was doing, but you're spending your time in the comment section, watching that person, commenting on what that person's doing, right? Realistically, what's actually happening, that's why I don't take any of that to heart. What's actually happening is there is a subconscious jealousy that, hey, you're going out and you're being yourself. You're not trying to be more like someone else. You're not trying to do what other people are doing. Because everyone else would just sit back and consume and not think about life deeply, not talk about anything, not care about anything, not address anything. Just sit back, consume, and be a sheep like everyone else. Be a sheep like me, because that will make me feel good about myself. If you try to be more like yourself, that makes me feel bad about myself. Because I only spend my time trying to be like other people. I only spend my time trying to do what others are doing. Think how others want me to think. Feel what others want me to feel. Do what others want me to do. I despise when someone tries to step outside of the box that people would put them in. I despise when someone tries to be unique in their own personality or character traits, because I have never been that, right? And so that's why some people walk around with that jealousy or that pain. Okay? And this is not single out Apple user, just a general thing. It doesn't even matter if he mutes himself, if someone mutes him or not. It's fine with me, because that stuff doesn't bother me. It's not really a reflection of me. Okay? I actually think it's a perfect example of what I've been talking about, right? Because everyone truly has a desire to be more of themselves, but not everyone actually has the confidence in themselves to be more of themselves. And so there is a mystery to the people who are more of themselves and less of what other people want them to be or need them to be. Right? Because people see you and they meet you and they want to know more about you. They want to know, how did you become who you are? How are you like this? How did you become this? You become so interesting and magnetic to people because you're just you. And this is the most amazing part about everything I talked about before, and it crystallizes itself perfectly in the mystery, because it girl energy, high demand, scarcity, emotional security, all that good stuff, right? It seems like things that you really have to focus so much of your energy on actively doing every single day, but you'll realize after a while of really believing and taking action towards being the it girl, you'll realize that the rest of them come naturally. You'll realize that the more you become the it girl as it relates to who you are and have that confidence within yourself, right? That people are so intrigued by you just for being you. You understand? And that's the amazing part about life and relationships, right? That's why people say, "Oh, let go and you'll get exactly what you asked for," right? Because kind of it is true in a sense, because when you actually when you actually become the it girl, it doesn't matter to you what other people are doing, how they think, how they feel, how they react, how they respond, because you're consumed with yourself. And you're only worried about what you have going on, and you're okay with that. And you have this peaceful energy that people wonder, how do you carry yourself with such grace? How do you have so much peace in your life? Right? How do you do the things that you do? How do you become that person? How do you become the it girl? People want to know. And the crazy part about it is, we've been talking about how to be irresistible to men. You'll also become very attractive to women as well. And I don't mean like, sexually attractive. I mean, even in a sense where other girls will be like, damn, like you are the it girl. How do you have that amount of confidence? Like, how do you do that. They'll just want to be like, how do you be you? And after a while, you'll find out, you'll realize, you're like, damn, like I just be me. I don't really know how to tell you how to be me because I'm just me. But I love me and I'm confident in me. So I be more of me. And then the people will be like, damn, you're just you? How do I be you? You know what I mean? Because they'll just want to know what's your secret sauce. And so, yeah, someone said it perfectly. And then they copy you. Yeah, because they'll want to know so badly, what's your secret sauce to being you? And you'll be like, there actually is no secret sauce. I'm just me. And I love me and I'm confident in me. And if you were just that for yourself, you could have the same secret sauce. Right? Because there is a beauty in just being you. You're the only person on this earth with the fingerprint that you have. Right? No matter if you have a twin, a triplet, a quadruplet, whatever you are, as an individual, you are unique to yourself. There is nobody on this planet, not now, not before, not ever, that will have the exact same DNA as you. So the magic and the mystery is really about being more of yourself, more than anything. And the more you are yourself, the more you step into that it girl energy, the more you embody the soul and the spirit of someone who is truly irresistible. Okay? Does that make sense for you guys? You guys following what I am putting down? Clear? 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 Someone said, and the more the haters will hate, but you won't care. Once you're whole. Exactly. When you're whole, it won't matter what people say. Because the reality of it is, like I said, the only reason that they're jealous, or the only reason they have anger towards you, it can't be about you, because they're living their own life. Why would they be so invested in you that they're really angry about you, about something you did or said? It's really about the pain that they have for not being able to be themselves, right? And the anger that they have towards you because you embody someone who doesn't want to be anyone but themselves. And that can be frustrating to people who struggle with that and don't believe that they can be themselves, right? If you have a lot of pain, right, that you don't believe you can be yourself ever, you're going to be jealous and you're going to be angry at the people who walk around and they just get what they want. They walk around and they just think they can do what they want and act differently than the rest of us. Who do you think you are? You're not special. No, I'm not special. I'm just me. But people get upset with that, right? And as you continue to embody that, you just be you. And people will be attracted to you for just being you. It is crazy. 100% crazy. Okay? So I hope you guys got something good from that. I know we went a little bit longer than usual today. We were like 2.5 hours in today, okay? That was one that I'm really passionate about. So as it came out, it was a little bit longer than usual. So I'm sorry if I went on a little bit of a rant there. Okay, but something I'm so passionate about. So I had to make sure I give you guys as much as I possibly can. Okay, so we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you have a question for me, you can send me a personal message on Instagram. Just keep in mind, I usually get to my stuff on the weekend now because I'm so busy during the week. But you can send me a personal message on Instagram if you have a personal message for me, or you can just follow me if you want to see everything that I'm doing on YouTube. Also, you subscribe to me. Make sure you subscribe to me because I'm posting a lot of good, amazing, awesome content there on YouTube. I'm also live on YouTube as I am on TikTok right now. And I know for my YouTube audience is actually growing quite a bit because I'm getting a lot of traction on YouTube now. So make sure you guys are subscribed to me on YouTube and, excuse me, watching all the videos because it's a lot of good concepts and content on there. And there's going to be a lot of good creative ideas that I'm going to leave with you guys on YouTube. That's going to be my long form way of getting a message to you guys. CFAT said, can I send you a message on TikTok? I'd rather you do it on Instagram because I can respond to you with a voice note. Okay. So make sure you do those two things. I love you guys so much. I'm so glad that we got to spend this 2.5 hours together. We'll be back again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And we'll be doing this all over again. Someone said, why don't you upload videos as much? That is one thing I'm going to get to this weekend because I've been so busy getting a bunch of stuff done that I haven't had time to do TikTok videos because I've been doing a lot of YouTube videos. But rest assured, I will still be doing YouTube or TikTok videos as well. Don't worry, I didn't abandon you guys on TikTok, okay? But if you want more content from me, you got to go to YouTube as well. So you can, because I'm posting on both and they're different pieces of content. So make sure you're on there too as well. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 4 p.m. sharp. Okay? I love you so much. And I will see you later. Okay? Have a good rest of your night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I love you.